Imagine a world where every twist, every unexpected turn, it isn't a roadblock, but more like a launch pad.
Yeah.
What if those really unpredictable parts of life were actually your greatest chances to grow?
That's the core idea, really.
Today, we're diving deep into exactly that.
Yeah.
How to truly learn to adapt to change. Not just, get through it, but actually thrive in uncertainty and embrace all those new possibilities.
It's a fundamental shift we're talking about. It goes way beyond just like professional success.
Right.
We're looking at unlocking some really profound personal growth.
Right. And boosting your mental well-being, finding strength when things feel, well, unpredictable.
Exactly, when life throws those curveballs.
So our mission for you in this deep dive is to bring together insights from workplace experts, mental health pros, coaches, researchers.
All the relevant fields, basically.
Yeah, aiming for a clear, actionable guide. How can you transform your relationship with change and uncertainty? So let's start by unpacking how we maybe redefine what change even means to us.
Okay, so when change hits, our first reaction is often, whoa, disruption, or even threat. It's that gut feeling.
That feeling of being knocked off balance.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But what the research consistently shows, whether it's psychology or organizational studies, is that change isn't just a disruption, it's actually a crucial catalyst.
A catalyst for what exactly?
For personal growth, for resilience. It forces us out of our comfort zones, pushes an evolution that, honestly, we might never start on our own.
And there's real power in leaning into that push, isn't there? When you actually embrace it, you don't just sort of endure it.
No, you gain this sense of empowerment. It feels different.
And it's not just a nice feeling. I mean, that McKinsey research is pretty stark. 70% of big organizational changes, they fail.
70%.
Yeah. And the main reason usually isn't bad strategy. It's just intense resistance to the change itself.
It really drives home that adaptability isn't just like a nice-to-have skill.
No, it's fundamental. It's the engine for moving forward.
So if that's true, the big question is, how do we actually shift that deep-seated perspective? The one that sees change as a threat.
How do we flip the script?
Our sources really emphasize seeing it explicitly as a learning opportunity. Just that one mental reframe. It has a huge impact.
How so?
Well, it measurably reduces anxiety and, maybe more importantly, it fosters genuine curiosity about what this new situation might actually offer. You start looking for the upside.
That makes a lot of sense. Think about someone who's been in the same job for ages, maybe feeling a bit stuck.
Right. Comfortable, but maybe stagnant.
Exactly. Then suddenly a new position opens up. It looks intimidating. The first reaction might be fear, seeing the risks.
Totally natural reaction.
But if they genuinely embrace it, view it as that chance to learn. They end up developing totally new skills, meeting new people, broadening their horizons in ways they couldn't have predicted.
Yeah, what looked like a massive risk becomes this pivotal moment.
That's the transformative power of perspective right there, in action.
Okay, so building on that idea, let's dig into the specific skills you need to navigate these dynamic, often messy environments. One that really stands out is cognitive adaptability.
Cognitive adaptability, what does that mean in practice?
It's basically your brain's agility. Its power to shift between different ways of thinking, process new information quickly, and adjust your strategy on the fly.
So it's less about having the single right answer from the start.
Exactly. It's more about adapting your thinking process to find an answer, even when things are really unclear or ambiguous. That's why it's so valuable, especially in leadership.
So for you listening, this means you're better equipped to guide teams through unexpected problems, sharpen your critical thinking, and even communicate better, because you can actually grasp and work with different viewpoints.
You're not just reacting, you're actively, dynamically strategizing.
Makes sense.
And a really concrete way to build that cognitive adaptability is through solid problem-solving skills. We all know the basic steps, right? Identify the problem, brainstorm, define the solution, implement.
Sure, the classic 4 steps.
But the real skill, the deeper dive, is often knowing when to pivot. When to ditch one solution for another, or even how to define the problem itself when you're in a truly confusing situation. That's honed in tricky spots.
Okay, let's make that real. Imagine your boss dumps a new, super urgent project on you, but your plate is already full.
Happens all the time.
Instead of just freezing or saying, I can't, your cognitive adaptability kicks in.
Yeah.
You quickly size up the whole picture, not just the task, but who's involved, what resources you have, context.
Yeah.
Then you brainstorm options, maybe delegate a part, Rejuggle your existing tasks, pull in a colleague. It's that flexible, agile thinking under pressure that finds the best path.
And that ties directly into cultivating both flexibility and agility. They're absolutely crucial because, let's face it, life rarely goes in a straight line.
Tell me about it.
Flexibility lets you bend without breaking. If a planned career move falls through or a personal goal gets derailed, you can explore other routes. You're not stuck.
You adapt your approach.
Right. And agility is the next level. It's about pivoting quickly, responding fast to new info or surprises. It's the speed of your adaptation.
And that speed matters. Deloitte found that companies prioritizing organizational agility are nearly 3 times more likely to be top performers.
2.7 times, yeah. That's a massive edge, whether you're talking business or just navigating your own life changes.
Okay, so we've got cognitive adaptability, flexibility, agility. What else?
Well, there's a more subtle internal barrier we need to talk about, the ego.
The ego. Gets a bad rap sometimes.
It's not inherently bad, no, but it is fundamentally self-centered. And that self-centeredness can really block effective communication and, critically, stop you from genuinely embracing change.
How did that play out?
Well, think about consciously practicing leaving your ego at the door. It allows you to see other perspectives much more clearly. Imagine you pitched an idea and it's just not working out.
Yeah, the data's showing it's a flop.
Your ego might tempt you to dig in your heels, insist you were right, try to save face.
Right, defend the original idea.
But real adaptability, especially in leadership, means having the strength to say, okay, this isn't working, pivot quickly, and maybe even embrace a totally different approach, maybe one you dismissed earlier, because that's what's needed now.
That willingness to be wrong, essentially.
Exactly. That's where the real adaptive growth happens.
And speaking of those internal drivers, we absolutely have to talk about emotional intelligence, EI.
Oh, definitely. Our sources consistently point to EI as a core driver for both individual and team adaptability. And resilience, too, especially in today's fast-paced world.
The numbers here are pretty staggering, actually. 90% of top performers across different fields, high emotional intelligence.
90%.
And the World Economic Forum predicts it'll be a top 5 skill globally by 2025. It's not just a soft skill anymore.
Absolutely not. And for organizations, the results are tangible. High EI scores correlate with, 20% less employee turnover?
And a 30% improvement in job performance. These are hard, measurable benefits.
It gets even more focused when you look at managing change specifically. Organizations with high EI are over twice as likely
2.3 times more likely, yeah.
to actually succeed with their change initiatives. It's not just about keeping people happy, it's about the team's collective ability to actually navigate the disruption effectively.
Right. Think about a project manager rolling out new software that the team hates.
Classic scenario. Lots of resistance.
An emotionally intelligent leader wouldn't just lay down the law. They'd acknowledge the frustration, really listen to the fears, provide support and training.
They create an environment where it's safe to speak up.
Exactly, that's psychological safety,
Yeah.
where people feel okay taking risks, sharing ideas, even admitting they're struggling without fear of being shot down or embarrassed.
And that empathetic approach can turn resistance into buy-in. We saw that case study where it led to a 20% productivity boost after the initial friction.
Wow. So it's about meeting people where they are emotionally.
Oh, precisely. There's another great example. Sarah, a tech leader during a merger. Super stressful time.
Mergers are always tough.
Instead of just top-down announcements, she deliberately fostered open discussions, built that safety net. The result, not just better morale, but a 40% drop in turnover.
40%. That's huge during a merger.
And increased team cohesion. They felt supported, so they became more resilient together. This isn't isolated either. TechWave, another firm in a merger, saw collaboration jump 50%.
50%.
And turnover dropped over 25% after they brought in EI workshops. When people feel emotionally supported, their engagement just skyrockets.
Okay, this is powerful stuff. Now let's tackle something that makes a lot of us instinctively uncomfortable. Uncertainty itself.
The big unknown.
What if I told you uncertainty isn't just something bad to be avoided, but what some psychologists are calling a good stress?
That's a really fascinating angle from the research. It turns out uncertainty triggers a specific kind of response in the brain.
Not just panic.
No, not debilitating panic. It's more like a focused alertness. It actually makes the brain more receptive to new information, it broadens your attention span, and even improves working memory temporarily.
Like a state of wakefulness.
Kind of. It primes you for learning. And studies show that people who are naturally more curious, who tend to tolerate that stress of the unknown better,
They actually have higher life satisfaction.
Yeah, and experience more pleasurable moments. It's counterintuitive. And clinical psychology is even looking at a strong fear of the unknown as a root vulnerability for many mental health issues.
So interventions are actually focused on increasing tolerance for uncertainty.
Exactly. Teaching practical ways to lean into new things, to try stuff out even when you don't know the outcome.
Okay, so if uncertainty can be this good stress, what does that mean for you listening right now? How do you practically thrive in it?
Well, first off, it loops back to mindset, cultivating that growth mindset, seeing challenges not as final judgments on your ability, but as dynamic chances to learn and get better.
That immediately lowers the anxiety stakes.
Definitely. Second, laser focus on what you can actually control. In a world full of unknowns, pouring your energy into your daily habits, how you react, the actions you can take right now, that's incredibly empowering.
Takes away that feeling of helplessness.
Precisely. Third, actively build and lean on your support system. Friends, family, mentors, they provide that crucial emotional anchor during shaky times.
Don't go it alone.
Absolutely not. Fourth, reframe failure. See it as an essential, unavoidable part of learning and growing. Extract the lesson, adjust your course, don't let it stop you.
Easier said than done sometimes, but crucial.
And finally, maybe the bedrock. Self-compassion and mindfulness. Staying present helps manage the anxiety that uncertainty naturally stirs up.
And just being kind to yourself through the process.
It's not fluffy stuff. It's necessary for resilience. Mindfulness alone has been shown to cut burnout rates by, 27%?
Wow, these are real actionable strategies.
They really are. And this whole idea also makes us rethink productivity, especially when things feel uncertain.
How so? Because we often try to control uncertainty by over-planning.
Exactly. We make these rigid plans, and then life inevitably throws a curveball, and we get massively frustrated.
Because the plan broke.
Right. The sources suggest true leverage isn't in the perfect plan, but in mastering those things you always control. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions.
Okay, give us an example of putting that into practice.
All right, try this quick mental exercise. Think of a big project or a life change you're facing right now. Got one.
Okay.
Now just notice the negative thoughts that pop up. I don't know enough, I'm too slow, this is overwhelming. Just jot them down mentally.
Got it. Lots of those.
Now step back. Are these absolute, unchanging truths? Or are they just feelings, assumptions, maybe old patterns?
Mostly feelings and assumptions, probably.
Okay. Now consciously reframe them. Turn I don't know enough into I'm learning everything I need as I go. Turn I don't work fast enough into I define my own pace and progress.
Yeah, so you're actively rewriting the internal script.
Exactly. It's not just positive thinking, it's rewiring your response to the challenge, shifting from unhelpful worry to proactive focus.
That's useful. What else about navigating uncertainty?
Well, something often missed is that opportunities themselves are frequently unplanned. They pop up unexpectedly.
So you need to be open to them.
Radically open. And that means tackling some common beliefs, like thinking it's a sign of weakness to ask for or accept help.
Oh yeah, that's a big one for many people.
But the truth is, every single successful person you can think of has asked for and received help countless times. It's not weakness. It's a strategic advantage. It opens doors.
Good point. It's a skill, not a failing.
And part of being strategic with your energy in uncertain times is learning the power of saying no.
Setting boundaries.
Yes, protecting your time, your focus, your energy. If you constantly feel swamped, chances are you're saying yes too often to things that don't truly align with your priorities. You get to choose where your resources go.
That takes practice, but it's vital.
Absolutely. And finally, let's connect this acceptance of uncertainty back to our social lives, even to big issues like polarization.
How does embracing uncertainty help there?
It fosters perspective taking, which is basically a cognitive form of empathy. It means consciously loosening our grip on our own rigid categories about people or situations.
Seeing beyond the labels.
Yeah, and genuinely trying to imagine someone else's worldview, their experience, rather than just assuming or imposing our own lens.
So less black and white thinking.
Exactly. And the research here is fascinating. Engaging in respectful dialogue, actually trading personal stories with people you disagree with, not debating points, but sharing experiences.
Just listening to their narrative.
Right. That can significantly reduce your own biases and lead to real mutual learning. We see this in efforts trying to bridge political divides.
So simply hearing someone's story can change how you see their whole group.
It can remarkably reduce implicit bias. It forces you to move beyond the simplistic labels and engage with the messy, nuanced complexity of another human being. It helps us connect across divides, but also see the diversity within our own groups, too.
So it helps you see the shades of gray everywhere.
Precisely. Moving away from that us versus them mentality.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does this mean for your journey, for everyone listening? The key takeaways seem pretty clear.
Yeah, change and uncertainty, they aren't enemies to be fought off.
No, they're powerful catalysts, internal catalysts for huge personal growth, for building resilience, even for deeper connections with others.
And you have the tools. By reframing your perspective, boosting that emotional intelligence, embracing the good stress of the unknown,
And really mastering what you can control, your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions.
you really can thrive no matter what the landscape looks like.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. What small step, maybe one that feels a little uncomfortable at first, will you take today to lean into an unknown?
Trusting that maybe that initial discomfort, it isn't just discomfort, it's actually equipping you for something better, something you couldn't possibly have planned for.